Okay, so I had a video all recorded, all ready to go, all set up, put up today, Thursday. And I recorded it on Monday. And then all of a sudden we get a whole bunch of news after I record it. Teams are doing this and that. Tom Brady retired from the Bucs and isn't going anywhere else. And it's like, okay, well, I gotta redo it. So, this video is my way too early 2023-2024 predictions, tier lists, whatever you want to call it. We are what are we? 10 days? I think we're like 12 days. No, when is the Super Bowl? Was it the 14th? No, we're 10 days. Okay, we're 10 days. All right, I had it right the first time. We're 10 days. Well, I guess it's 11 because it's Thursday. 10 days would be, well, whatever. Point is, we're going to do a way too early prediction video for every team next year. You know, where will they be? Are they going to be looking to the 2024 draft? Are they going to be Super Bowl contenders this early? We'll see. So, I can't wait to do a video. I might do a video like, well, I guess it would have to be after next year's Super Bowl and kind of look like, was I close? Was I far off? Did I get any of the surprise teams right? Which you can see I have a category for teams that, might be better than what a lot of people think. So, we're going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals, and, I mean, that hasn't changed for me. I still have them down here. Kyler supposedly might not even be ready for the start of the season. There's talks of DeAndre Hopkins leaving. J.J. Watt just retired. Cliff Kingsbury got him out of there. He's in like Thailand or something like that. So they're gonna be in a good rebuild now. Like they had their 1 year where they made it to the wild card and then looked like the best team ever. And then just got folded. They got folded. So. Yeah, they're not going to be, they're probably not going to be that good next year. Falcons, I think they'll maybe be around the same. I think they need at least 2 more years, maybe only another year to really get their legs underneath them and start crawling and walking. Walking their way slowly to a Super Bowl, at least being a contending team again. So I think they'll be around the same. We'll see what they do in this year's draft, but I've hyped up the Falcons saying, oh, they're going to be better this year. They're going to be better this year. And then they always fall off a cliff by mid-season. So I'm done. I'm done hyping them up. I'm done, putting respect on their name because they let me down. They let me down. So, yeah. Baltimore, man. Okay. I'm going to put them around the same. I'm going to put them here because Lamar Jackson's, at least the report is that he's going to be franchise tagged here in, was it March? I think, is it March 15th or whatever is the day you can franchise tag people? Whatever. Point is, post Super Bowl, they're going to franchise tag him so that he can't leave, so they're going to have him, for another year. Who knows what's going to, again, I can't, injuries, he's coming off an injury, so who knows how he's going to look, at least at the start of next year. Who knows how, I don't know what to think about them because, yes, you've had players come on and said, hey, if we had Lamar Jackson against the Bengals, we would have won that game. We would have gone to the divisional round, and who knows what would have happened there. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's not happy. Your star QB's not happy. You're going to have to pay him. You're just delaying the inevitable. So they might make the wild card again next year. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with them. Buffalo. This is gonna surprise some people, but they're gonna fall off a bit. I think their ceiling is maybe the divisional round again. Maybe wild card even. The reason I say that, Jets are, there's still talks of Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets right now. But they're going to look for a veteran QB, see who they can get, and they might be better. They probably are going to be better. Their defense, again, second year with Sauce and those rookies. And they have a young defense. So, they were pretty good this year. It's just if they had an offense, they'd be a lot better. Well, really a QB. But point is, you're going to have the Jets getting better. Miami, if Tua stays healthy, doesn't, quit football because of concussions and whatnot, they're going to be good. Patriots, you never count them out. Never count them out. So, it's going to be a tougher division next year than it was this year. And even this year it was kind of tough. Even this year they kind of struggled a bit. So don't be surprised if maybe the Bills barely win their division by half a game, or maybe lose their division by half a game or a game. And then, you're in the wild card, you're not hosting a playoff game. So, who knows? But I think they are going to fall off a little bit. I think they've gone all in. They've been called the Packers of the AFC. So, it's kind of true, though. It's kind of true. But expect them to kind of fall off. Panthers. We're all in the same. Bears are going to surprise some people because they have, is it 110? 110, 120, something like that. They have a lot of money they can spend in free agency and on the drafts and all this other crap. So, they might, I don't want to say they're going to contend for the North, but, if they play their cards right under the new management and all this other crap that they have now, the new crap, the new, everything new there, I think that they can maybe make a run at, you can't go 500, but maybe 9-8, 8-9, something like that. And if that's how the NFC is, again, next year like it was this year, 9-8 can make you the playoffs, depending on what happens, who you beat, and whatnot. So, again, all this cap space for free agents and everything, don't be shocked if they look decent next year. I'm not saying they're going to win the division, but they might surprise some people. So, Bengals, they're kind of in their dominant stage. It's not, there's not too much of a threat to the AFC North for them. Obviously, Ravens, yes. But Browns, I don't know. It's way too early for me to say, the Browns are going to contend for the North, because I don't know. I'm gonna put them around the same. But I don't know what's going to happen with them. But the Bengals, to me, feel like they're, constantly going to be in the playoffs. They might go on a string of, 6 years, 5 years, something like that, of just in the playoffs every year. And it's hard not to root for them. I want to root for them. I was rooting for them to beat Kansas City and whatnot. I was happy for Matthew Stafford to get a ring, but other than that, I didn't really care for a lot of other people on the Rams. So I was, rooting for them to win the Super Bowl. It's just hard not to root for them. So I think they, again, are going to be a team that's constantly in the playoffs. And, they're fun to watch. So, Cowboys, I think, this isn't, too big of a shock. I think they'll make the wild card. At least now they're going to win that game. We'll see. But Mike McCarthy's calling plays. Ooh. You know what? You know what? I'm going to throw my hands up in the air, and I'm going to say they're going to fall off a bit. Ask a Packers fans what happens when Mike McCarthy calls plays. Because, we all know what Rodgers did. We all know what he did in those huddles. We found out a couple years after the fact what happened in those huddles after Mike McCarthy was calling plays. So, ask a Packers fan. If you're a Dallas fan, don't be happy about that. Don't be happy that he's calling plays. Because it's not going to work out for you. It's not. Broncos, I think, could be a surprise team. They got Sean Payton. When I made this video before, had it all set, they did have Sean Payton. Now I think they're going to be a surprise team. I had them, looking forward to the draft, being a team that's going to fall off a bit, maybe not be that good. But then they got Sean Payton. It's like, okay, I think they can surprise a lot of people and, do some stuff. And, maybe shake up the AFC West a little bit. Maybe that's getting one more win. Maybe they finally beat the Chiefs for the first time in, was it 20 attempts or whatever? Something like that. So, yeah. Lions, I think that, another year under Dan Campbell. They just went, was it 9-8? Basically lost or did not make the tiebreakers or did not make the playoffs because of tiebreakers. Wow. So I think they will this year. I think, the North, again, you contended with the Vikings. You showed that, hey, you can contend with those teams. So, I think that there's possible that they can, make the playoffs. You can fight with the Packers, with the Vikings and whatnot, and, probably make a playoff spot. And if the NFC is as bad as it was this past season, any team can make it. You can go 8-9, 9-8, and you can probably get the 7th seed. And then from there, welcome to the dance. Let's see what you can do. So, I think that they will make a playoffs. I did say last year, I said, they might need a year or two to make the wild card. And lo and behold, they were, again, tiebreakers out of it. So, that's not that far off. Packers, now, I hate this team. I hate this team. They make me suffer. So Rodgers is not making a decision until post-Super Bowl. He's come out and said, hey, this is about the Chiefs and the Eagles. I'm going to give them the spotlight. Tom Brady's like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to, call the Bucks at 6 a.m. On was it a Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever. I'm going to make a video and say, hey, I'm retiring. Screw the Eagles. Screw the Chiefs. This is about me. So, Rodgers is, probably the biggest domino to now fall. I think there's still a possibility he could retire. I think there's still a possibility he could go to another team. I think there's still a possibility he could go to or come back to the Packers. Now, I'm putting him in a surprise team because, again, we don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. If Love plays, mark my words, clip this, whatever you want to do. This is a way too early prediction, so I'm totally okay with this. If Love is the starting QB, Packers are going to make the wild card next year. Mark my words. Clip it. If you want to clip it, go ahead and clip it. I don't care. I think Love can take this team to the playoffs. It's going to be hard because you're going to have to re-sign some people. We've had trouble with Joe Barry and whatnot. I think that, again, with the amount of love that has come out for Love from the media, from Packers insiders and whatnot, they've even said, hey, Love looks a lot better this year than he did last season at the during training camp, before training camp and whatnot. So I think that's a good sign for the Packers. I think they will be a surprise team and make the wild card next year. And it's a surprise because we didn't make the playoffs this past season. So yeah, Texans still in a draft mode. Colts are falling off a cliff. I think it's the Jags' division to lose. Yeah, so just kind of getting those three out of the way real quick. I think the Chiefs are still probably going to be Super Bowl contenders. We're going to put the Eagles up there, too. I think these teams definitely will be Super Bowl contenders again. The Chiefs are essentially the new dynasty. And, again, we're not going to talk about rigging or anything else like that, but I saw someone talking to someone said, hey, the NFL wants a new dynasty and the Chiefs are it. So... Welcome to the dynasty, man. This is the new one. They've made 3 Super Bowls, I'm recording this before. If you might see this post Super Bowl, this is going up before the Super Bowl too. But they've made 3. They've only won 1 so far. Again, we still have 10 days, 12 days, whatever it is, 11 days till the Super Bowl. So they might have won 2 of 3. We'll see. Otherwise, they might be 1 of 3 in the Super Bowl. But again, they feel like a dynasty. It feels like, hey, they're going to be contending for a Super Bowl every single year. I mean, this past season, I had the Chargers win the division. Everyone thought, oh, the Broncos are going to surprise people. The Raiders are going to surprise people. The Chiefs are done. They're over. They had their time in the spotlight. They can't even get out of the AFC West. That's what a lot of people were saying. And then the whole AFC just collapsed, and it was the Chiefs to win. Again, it is the Chiefs to win yet again. So, Chargers, I think around the same. Wild cards around the same. Maybe around the same. They're not going to be too good. Raiders, around the same, which isn't that good. Dolphins, again, could be good with Tua, if he's healthy and whatnot. Again, this is way too early. I'm not, we're still in well, we just started February, I should say. We're not still in February. We just started February, so maybe by the time we get to September, maybe Tua's not there. And again, that's why this is way too early. So, Vikings, I think, will be contending for the AFC North. Sorry, the NFC North. And, we'll see how that goes. Again, you have the Lions in there. You have the Packers who, again, I think with Jordan Love, maybe don't win the division, but I think you could make the wild card with Jordan Love at QB. With Aaron Rodgers, you really are going to get a very good Aaron Rodgers, or you're going to get Aaron Rodgers that didn't look too good. But again, he was injured for the middle of the season, but that's not really an excuse because he did not look that good before the injury. He did not look that good at the very end of the season either. So yes, they were winning games, but it wasn't because Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't fully him. Our defense was showing out. So it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna have the Bears. Maybe you lose a game to the Bears. You split with the Bears next year too. So I think the Vikings. I think the NFC North. Oh my God, it's gonna be a tougher division. So Patriots. I'm gonna put them around the same. They need another year, maybe, to reload and make the playoffs again. But we're talking about Bill Belichick. I don't know anything. Okay, I don't know anything. No one knows anything. I have a Patriots fan on this channel. I'm sure he's even like, hey, it's way too early. Bill Belichick could go out just boom, and suddenly they're a top contender in the AFC East again. I don't know. So I'm gonna put them around the same. They could be a surprise team. We don't know. We don't know with them. Saints. I'm gonna put them around the same. Well, you know what? Yeah, because I have the Panthers here too. They're not gonna fall off because they're not that good. they're not that good. And even Saints too. The whole NFC South is just so bad. There's I would, if I was a fan of any of those teams, I'd be like, hey, we can win the division. Falcons can win the division. Panthers, maybe. Saints, maybe. Bucks are going to fall off a bit, but, they're kind of, right there, too. I would have them, I would have it, right on top of, will fall off a bit, just because Tom Brady's retiring. So, we'll see with them. Giants, I think Giants are going to be another surprise team. Second year of a surprise team. Maybe they make the divisional round again. I think, now again, that's kind of, around the same. But, it's a surprise if they can do it back to back and make the divisional round back to back years. To me, coming into the season, they didn't seem like a team that was going to be contending for anything. Maybe a middle of the tier pack, around 8 and 9, something like that. But they really showed, hey, we're in the NFC Beast, so we have to be on our A game at all times. And they're doing their thing, and they're winning games, and they were doing good. Jets, I think, will be a surprise team. I think they're going to come out, get their QB, whoever it is. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers. We'll see. And I think they're going to be a contender for the AFC East title. With their veteran QB, they have stated, hey, we want a veteran QB. That's what they've come out and stated before. So I think if they're going to get someone at least decent, almost anyone's. Even Jimmy Garoppolo is probably better than what they have on their roster right now. So even if it's him, I'm sure, they can probably do whatever they want. They can make it as far as they want. So I think they will be a surprise team. Steelers, I'm going to put them a surprise team. I think they make the playoffs this coming season. I think they make the playoffs. I think their ceiling is the wild card this year. So, second year with Kenny Pickett, you're going to have some options, and, who knows what they're going to do in the draft. But Mike Tomlin, again, is never gone under 500. And he just finished 9-8 this year again. So, depending on how the bottom of the AFC playoff picture looks by January of next year, they might be contending for a playoff spot. Again, they were until, I think it was week 18, week 17, week 18. They were contending for a spot. It's just they needed help and they needed people to lose. That was the problem. Seattle is going to be another surprise team. Gino's going to take another step forward. Kenneth Walker, big step forward. You're going to have all these playmakers. You have the defense. Who's that corner that I can't remember? People are saying he's, up there with Sauce Gardner. Not better, but, people are talking like, hey, like, no one's talking about this rookie cornerback, but, he'll get a second year under him. That defense, all these younger players will get a second year under him. And I'm not saying they're going to win the NFC West, but I think that, you draft right, maybe you get a, under the radar free agent, and maybe you're contending with San Francisco a little bit better. Maybe you're contending for 3 quarters instead of a half. So we'll see with them. I think that they will be a surprise team a little bit better. Niners are going to just reload. They're just going to reload. You just made the NFC Championship game, just lost in that because, you didn't have a QB, essentially. So that's why you lost. Titans, I'll put them around the same. They were right around 500. I think, what were they, 8-9, I believe. So maybe right around there. There's been reports that they're not, sold on Malik Willis. So, yeah. Commanders, Commies, going to be a surprise team, I think, this offseason. If we ignore the Dan Schneider stuff, I think that they could have a decent offseason. I think if they, draft right, I think if maybe they get, they need a QB. But, I feel like they aren't fully set up on their defense either 100%. So I feel like they're a couple pieces away. I think a QB will definitely help. But, Taylor Heineke can win you some games. It's just, it's not the guy. He's not the QB. So I think they'll surprise some teams. I think, again, you're in the NFC Beast. You had 3 teams come out of that division. You were the only one that couldn't make it because you lost because of tiebreakers and you started losing at the very end of the year and whatnot. So, and again, if you would have beat the Giants instead of tying with them, you probably are in the playoffs. You probably don't win against Minnesota, but you're in the playoffs. But yeah, so that's my way too early predictions for, all 32 teams for next year. Let me know, who do you have being a Super Bowl contender next year? Who do you have looking forward to the 2024 draft? And, who's going to be a surprise team? Let me know down below. So for now, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.